Welcome to In the Moment with Kortia, where we inform, inspire, and motivate you to be a positive agent of change. Good morning on this thriving Thursday. We're excited to be in the recording area today to, bring to you some great information that's really going to set the stage and really change your life from this point forward. Hey, look, make sure you call into the radio station with your questions or comments at the local number 318-484-2500 or toll free at 877-464-2500. And today we have our special guest that's joining us today by the name of Miss Tara Eusebi. She definitely has some great information to share with you today. She is the founder and CEO of Bless. And yes, you did hear me right, Bless. In 2018, Tara stepped away from a successful career in corporate America to pursue her passion for actually helping others. And that's powerful. And actually this pursuit led to the creation and development of Bless. And what is Bless? Bless is actually a mobile application that is bringing people together in every community around the world to help one another. Now, the account of her journey is inspiring and encouraging, and countless others to discover their passion, and I should say encouraging others to discover their passion and to go after their dreams. And hey, that's what we're all about on In the Moment. So, Tara, good morning. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, Cord. I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me on your show this morning. What a privilege and an honor to share with you about Bless and to be a part of In the Moment. I'm super excited about sharing this with the community.
I tell you, I'm excited as well because, Tara and I had an opportunity to touch base a little bit off air. And wow, when I tell you this is going to be something that's going to set the stage for a lot of our listening audience's lives, it's just really going to be one of those profound moments that you're going to come up to. And, we heard a little bit about Tara's bio. So, Tara, in your own words, you came from corporate America, okay? What actually prompted, the creation of Bless?
Yeah, where Bless came from was out of my own passion. A lot of times we get so caught up in what we do for a quote-unquote living that we forget about what we're passionate about. And I was asked a question one day that absolutely changed the course of my life, and that was, what is your passion? What is it that you ultimately want to do? And it didn't even take but a second for it to come up. And I said very quickly, if I could do anything, you know what I would do? I would go bless people. And I could just see it. Like, I just started naming people. If I had the day off, I would go bless this person and that person and this person. And the feeling that came up in my heart was just so, oh my gosh, to me that's the ultimate, being able to be a blessing to somebody else. And it was from that moment, actually, that the vision for Bless as a mobile app started to come alive within me. And, I had to head off to work that day. And it was another, horrible, dreadful day in corporate America. But God began to stir something in me with regard to the passion and the gift and the call that he placed in my heart. And that's how Bless was born, out of that very moment. So I just want to already encourage people this morning, whatever you're passionate about, realize that God's put that in you, and that in that is your assignment. That's what he's called you to do in life, and you can thrive and flourish in that.
Awesome. I tell you, it's you hear that, folks? We're always talking about the passion, the dream, the commitment, the drive. What is it? What is that one thing? Okay, what is that one great thing on the inside? We say seed of greatness, or we say the blessing that's on the inside, since we're talking about Bless today, and what's going to actually push you forward. And, I know we have a couple minutes before our first break there. So, Tara, are you actually saying, if I'm listening to you correctly, okay, that the passion that you have, would you say that your passion is directly connected to your gifting?
Yes, sir, I would. Because what I realized is that all the jobs that I held throughout my life, they were all a preparation time. If I shared with you what I did previously, it would make no sense with what I'm doing now. But it was a preparation and a growth time for me to have my own company. And yes, absolutely. One thing my mom has taught me is that what the gift and the call that God's placed on you is directly tied to the passion that you have. A lot of times we push that aside and we think, oh, well, I need to go to this job and I need to do this. And that's why a lot of people are miserable, because they're not really doing what they're called to do. They're letting their drive for provision motivate them to go to work to get the paycheck, when really God's intended to meet all of our needs. And so he's our provider. And if you just do what you're assigned to do, which is totally tied and connected to your passion, because, again, he placed that on the inside of you from before the foundations of the world, then you can then flow in that and not be concerned about having to go and meet your needs and get your bills paid. Because when we just set out to advance the kingdom, then everything we need, want, and desire is added to us. And this is what he's showing me through this whole entire process. And I thought, you know what, Lord, I'm so grateful that at the age of 41, I know what I'm here for. I know my passion. I know what my calling and assignment is, and I'm walking it out. Very exciting.
Awesome. I tell you, that's some good stuff right there, Tara. So, look, we're definitely going to go ahead and take in this first break. And, look, I know you're excited about it. I know Tara's already reached you right there in your moment and how God's already speaking with her. So, look, stay with us in your moment. Welcome back to In the Moment with Kortia Kuzan on this Thriving Thursday. And wow, it's just some good things that are happening in the studio on today. And we have Tara Eusebi, who is the founder and CEO of Bless. Wow. It's just really, well, I'm just going to say right now, it's kind of like, as they would say, off the chain up in here because of all of this great material and everything that God is actually doing and working through Tara. And I know before we came back through break, we kind of had a little chuckle. I don't know if anyone actually picked up on it, where Tara was discussing about, everything that she did previously really didn't have anything to do with what's going on right now, but she could see that as preparation. And I could definitely attest to that, of how, the things that we did before this radio program, it really didn't seem like it lined up. But hey, Tara, let me ask you this. Now, you talk about the things before, getting to this point. How do you see, like, right now? I mean, we can kind of chuckle about it, but how do you see that everything that you did before God giving you and downloading all of this in your spirit about this app? I mean, how do you see that was like a preparation for what's going on now? Do you see a connection? Oh, well, looks like we had some technical difficulties there, but let me see. She's coming back on. Let me see there. All right, Tara, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I don't know what happened, but I'm here.
Well, that's okay. That's all right. Just put the devil on notice. We're going to keep pushing forward.
Yeah,
keep pushing forward. Good deal. So, Tara, I was telling the listening audience and how you were saying that the things that happened before, you saw how it had nothing to do with what you're doing right now, but you can see how it was preparation. I mean, could you kind of put that in the context for the listening audience, and how so many people right now, just like I did before, we've done so many things in life, and then when God puts us into our real purpose, in the beginning we don't see how it's supposed to work out. But how did the things that you did before come into play right now with you and Bless?
Sure. You know what I realized, and again, you don't really see it when you're in those moments, and I don't know about anyone else, but for me, I always knew there was something more. And, there were times when I thought, gosh, have I missed the plan of God? Have I missed the will of God? But now that I'm in this moment, I've realized that all of those things were definitely preparation. It was a growth time for me. It was a growth for my character. It was a growth of discipline in my life. Even the more challenging times that I went through, I was actually just talking to my brother about it the other day, saying, I realized in those really, really tough moments, there was no other option but to run to the throne. And it helped my relationship with God get stronger and actually bring me to a place where I could hear clearly what he's saying to me for this moment, to be able to get the vision for Bless and to be able to take his plan and actually make it a reality. And everything that I did prior, even though in that moment it was like, this is nuts, like this, this can't be all. Like, this is not my goal in life to be a customer service representative forever or to be an operations manager. You know, there has to be something more. And I realized I was always destined to lead. I was always destined for that ownership that God's called us to. But I see so clearly now that all of it was in line, and I didn't miss God in any moment. I was obedient in every step, even though it might not have felt like it, looked like it, or seemed like it. So I just want to encourage you that wherever you're at today, when you're seeking God, you're asking him and saying, Lord, direct and order my steps. You know, he's doing it. He hears your heart cry, and he's faithful. So he's going to put you in that right place. And even though it might not line up with what you're thinking you should be doing, just know that he is big. He sees the full picture. We only see a little bit, and you just have to trust and stay the course, knowing that what those deep dreams are, those are the things you can't let go of, is that deep passion, those big dreams that you have. Dream big. Don't be afraid to put pressure on God, because he wants you to. By faith, when you step out and do what he's called you to do, he wants you to dream bigger than you can even imagine, even than you can think, and he'll take you to those higher places.
That is so awesome, and that is so powerful. I tell you what, I know some of you may have been trying to decide as you got out of your beds on this morning that, hey, why am I actually doing what I'm doing? I mean, just seems so mundane. It just seems like I'm doing the same thing over and over and over again. And, you know, if you're anything like I am, and I'm listening to like what Tara's talking about, I was saying to God, I mean, what does this have to do with my walk with you? I mean, what am I supposed to gain from this? And, you know, so many of us right now, Tara, and I just listening to you, that, you know, people really don't know what they're called to do or why they're doing what they're doing. It almost seems like what they're doing is like the ultimate distraction from the purpose that God has called them to fulfill. And, you know, literally, I don't know about you, you know, and I know we have a couple minutes before the next break, but I don't know about you, but me, I had to literally just sit down, and as I'm talking with you and as a listening audience is out there listening to both of us, I just sat down, got in a still, quiet place and say, look, I need you to tell me, and you know you cannot command God, but, you know, based upon his word that, you know, if a man lacks wisdom, you know, let him ask God. So I had to ask God, look, what am I supposed to be doing? And then, you know, that's when a plan started forming. That's when steps started forming. So, you know, what would your advice be, okay, in about 2 minutes that we have left? What would your advice be as far as like how God downloaded bless to you? How would you instruct someone to actually seek God and finding out what their purpose is?
You know, when I quit my job, he gave me a release, said you can quit when you're ready. And when I did that, my life changed in the fact that I became more disciplined. And I actually get up earlier in the morning now than I did when I worked in corporate America. And the reason is because prayer and seeking his face is number one. And he told me this is the most important. I mean, I relate bless in the development of this application to Moses in the tabernacle. And when God gave him all the instructions, I mean, when Moses went before God, God literally laid every detail out. He told him, I'm going to bring you the people. I'm going to bring you the resources. I'm going to do all these things. But he had to go to God and clear out all the distractions. For me, early in the morning, when no one's awake, when nothing's going on, and I stay off my phone and off the internet and all that, and I just go to the throne and get direction from him. It's in those quiet moments that you're going to be able to hear and kind of reflect on yourself and think and ask yourself the question, if you could do anything today, what would it be? What's your passion? What is it that would ultimately drive you? Maybe it is the place that you work. Maybe that is your assignment, but continue to press and dream bigger and just look to all that God has, because ultimately this is about his kingdom advancement. And as we seek to help and advance his kingdom and to bless people and to just be the light of the world, right? The city on the hill that can't be hidden. Instead of just preaching Jesus, let's start acting like him. That's what I love about Bless too, because it gives us an opportunity to quit preaching the word, which we need to preach the word. But I'm saying I think the world's heard enough. Bless is for all humanity. So the world's heard enough of us preaching. They need to see us acting as believers. And so this is for everybody. But as believers specifically, we can take this tool and actually be like Jesus. So I just want to encourage you, get in that quiet place. Shut out all the other noise of the world, and God is already speaking to you. You just need to quiet down enough to listen.
Awesome, awesome. I tell you what, if you didn't know what passion was, you just heard it live here on In a Moment with Kortia Kuzan. So look, we're about to go into our break time, and look, I tell you, stay with us because I know God's reaching you right now in your moment. Welcome back to In the Moment with Kortia Kuzan this Thriving Thursday. And you better believe we are thriving in the studio on this morning. We have Tara Eusebi on the phone lines, the founder and CEO of Bless. And I know a lot of you are just jumping around in your houses. I mean, definitely beating the roof of your cars because, wow, God is definitely moving in the studio on today. And so, you know, we're going to get right back into it and just hey, Tara, why don't you just go ahead and share, talk about the app and, you know, contact information. Just go ahead and give the people exactly what they've been chomping at the bit for.
Sure. I'm so happy to be able to share about Bless. Bless is a mobile application for your phone. So you can download the Bless app. You can get it on Google Play. You can get it from the Apple App Store. Just go on there. You can search for Bless. You're going to see Bless and then Uniting Humanity. That's actually kind of the title within the App Store. You're going to see a black and a white logo, and that's Bless. And what Bless is about is it's a platform where users can go to share a need or they can offer to meet a need. And let me just retrain you on the word need. It's not just needs for clothes or food or shelter. Yes, it's for that, but it's not just for that. We're talking about those quiet, often disregarded needs, like someone to walk with, someone to talk to, just a listening ear. It's about those needs too. So that's what makes this tool so powerful, because no one is disqualified from this. Everybody you know has a need of some kind, whether it's one of those real needy needs or it's a quieter, often disregarded need, or they want to offer to meet the need of another. So let's say you have 3 toasters. We know you don't need 3 toasters, right? So you can give one of those toasters away and just be a blessing to somebody. Who knows? It could be your neighbor. It could be your coworker. It could be the person you're passing at the market that could really just use a toaster, and you've had it all along. That's how Bless was born. It was born out of if I knew what they needed, then I would help them. Absolutely, I would help, but how could I know? And that's when the vision for Bless as a mobile app came alive within me. This is the platform that's been designed. So when you install this app, first of all, you need to know it's free. It's free to install. It's free to use. And guess what, folks? There are no ads. This Bless is a gift. It's a gift for humanity. It's a tool for everybody. It's not a religious tool. It's not a Christian tool, even though I am a Christian. Bless is not a Christian tool, although Christians can absolutely use it, and it's a blessing to them. But it's for humanity. It's for everybody. So I want you to get it. You can go to Google Play, the Apple App Store, and you can also connect and follow Bless on all the social media outlets, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Bless Mobile App. If you just type in the handle at Bless Mobile App, you will find it. And we just want you to be a part.
Awesome, awesome. Look, I hope each and every individual that was listening got that information. And, you know, when Tara first came to me as far as about this, I mean, I was pretty much dumbfounded. I mean, you can find an app nearly for everything under the sun out there, right? And then when we got on the phone and we talked about it and she told me an app for literally helping people, I was just I said, wait, hold on. You mean God downloaded into you to get an app created to actually be the hands and feet, but you can do it in a digital sense? You know, considering how this is a big information age that we have right now, I was still awestruck by that just because I saw the big picture immediately. You know, it wasn't me a spoon-fed thing. When she told me and then I grabbed a hold of it, I was just like, whoa, you know, like one of those awesome kind of moments that I usually get. And I mean, for her to really be receptive to what God is actually doing, in her life and being able to choose and select her, which shows a great amount of trust from God. I mean, anytime God calls you to do something and it's really unique to you, that should just let you know how valuable you truly are to God. And I can really tell that from listening to Tara. Now, Tara, I know before we were on air, you were sharing with me this story that you actually received from, I think, an individual on Facebook. Hey, why don't you share that with the listening audience?
Yes, she expressed on Facebook how powerful she views this tool. She actually wrote a quite lengthy post about Bless and how about in her own personal life, how she's always wanted to help other people, and she's wanted to train her children to help other people, but because of her work schedule and the kids' schedule, it could never work out. The soup kitchens aren't open when it's conducive for them and that kind of thing. So she brought to light the fact that now that we have Bless, you can actually train your children on your own time and fit it into your own schedule. You can train them to be a blessing to others. I mean, have your kids go through their toy boxes and post it on Bless. You can offer to meet a need of someone just right in your area. That's how it works. It's really designed to bring community together so that when you share a need or when you offer to meet the need of another, you're looking at posts in your local area. And then you can reach out and help one another. And this was so powerful when she brought this to my attention because I had never thought of it this way, how it could be used to help train up children and to teach them how to give and how convenient it is because it's on your own schedule. It's the way you want to help other people. You can do it in your own terms. It makes it such a powerful tool. I mean, if we can take some time when we've got a day off or a few extra moments, we go through our closet, you're going to find loads of stuff you no longer need. And you know what? There's so much power in the seed. There's so much power in the seed. So when you're blessing somebody, there's nothing like it.
I mean, that is just so awesome. I mean, really, I'm looking at this and visually inside of my, mind's eye, as you want to say right now. And, everything that Tara is saying about the Bless app. Folks, I'm going to tell you, my wife has it on her phone. I've got it on my phone, and definitely, I was waiting until after the program to be able to introduce our kids and everything to it. But look, to actually right now, okay, listen to what I'm saying. After this, from this moment on, there is no reason that anyone should ever have an excuse to actually say, I'm not able to help anyone, okay? Whether it's in your community, whether it's in your state, whether it's across the nation, whether it's around the world. God has opened up this door, this digital platform to be able to just reach out and can literally, as he said, to be his hands, his feet out there to go ahead and touch someone. And just like she said, it's not just for those that are saved, but for unsaved, because why? Everyone has a need in some way, shape, form, or fashion out there. So look, pay attention to what's going on. Allow God to keep speaking with you. And look, we're going to definitely go ahead and take this break, but look, stay with us and stay in your moment. Welcome back to In the Moment with Kortia Kuzan. Hey, if you don't know it by now, we're thriving on this Thursday. And definitely on the phone lines yet again is Tara Eusebi, the founder and CEO of Bless. And she's been sharing some life-changing information to literally be able to touch people, not only in your community, not only in your state, this nation, but around the world through a mobile app. That's only God that can actually download some creativity on that type of scale to one of his children. But you know what's really unique is that, so many of us on the program, and I know they have people that listen to our broadcast that are saved and unsaved. We already know that. But the thing is that it is an application. It is an app to be used for each and every individual to help someone that you see that has a need and to really make an impact in their life, to do what? As we say each and every time on this show, to be that positive agent of change. So, Tara, while we were off air, we were talking about, and, something that really resonated with me, and, I think we needed to really go back to that, because I really believe that right now, some people in the body of Christ, are really just people in general, just think, okay, some people are, quote unquote lucky, or, they get all of the breaks, why doesn't stuff like this happen to me? All right. And what is it, or should I say, how did you finally, well, I'm going to say no, or what caused you from being unstuck to, as you mentioned before, the world system, and then finally wholeheartedly connecting to, well, the kingdom system?
Okay, great. Yeah, God, he's just so gracious and merciful. And I know for me, and maybe all of you that are listening have this same feeling, like you just know this world system, it's almost like being handcuffed. It limits you to such a degree. And, one thing I've learned, and it took me forever, but I finally heard a great man of God say it, that your job is not, your boss, your job is not there to make you rich. It's God's responsibility to make you rich. Again, I think where we've gotten off is because we are looking to our jobs as our source when God's supposed to be the source. But many of us have the mentality, that we have to go to work to get the paycheck to pay the bills. Because if you were to ask yourself, if I didn't need to pay my bills, would I go to work today? Most people would say, I would not go to work if I didn't need that paycheck.
That's
and
good.
That shows you right there that you're skewed. Your vision is skewed, and you're not seeing clearly God as your source. And, the Lord showed me so many times that the world system has just crept into the believer system, his system, and we've been combining them. And even in Christian business, I see it combined. And God said, I want to do something different with you and with Bless. I want you to step out completely. And it was always my desire to be free from that system. I didn't like someone telling me when I could take a vacation or what I had to do with my time. I wanted to be free to be able to advance God's kingdom. And so I made the exchange. When I stepped out of corporate America, I left that buying and selling system, and I switched over to the sowing and reaping system. And there is so much power in the seed, folks. That's what Bless is all about. When you're able to take what you have that God's blessed you with and just bless somebody else, the multiplication in that harvest is so much greater than selling that same item on Let Go or Offer Up. I'm telling you right now, you cannot outgive God. And when you sow seeds like this, it's amazing what God will do. And so it's so important for us to get revelation of how God's system is actually completely separate. That's why the word says that we're in the world, but we're not of it.
Yes.
So many of us are still in the world and are still of it because we want to do things the world's way. We like to mix it. But then we'll put the favor of God on it, and God will bless it. But we're tapping ourselves off because we're trying to use the world's strategies when He has a strategy that's so much higher. He made us to be 10 times better than this world, to go out there and be the light of the world. That city on the hill, as I said earlier, when you're a city on the hill that can't be hidden, people are turning their heads. They're staring at you going, oh, my gosh, look at that city on the hill. That's how we're supposed to be. We should be the richest people on this earth so that when people look to us, we can give all the glory and the honor to our mighty God, and they'll come running to hear what we have to say by the word of God when we are in that position. So I just want to encourage you today. There is so much more. Make the exchange, folks. Dig into your Bible and look and just realize Jesus was taken care of, the disciples were taken care of, and every single prophet and person in the Bible that did the work of the Lord, God supplied every need above and beyond. He gave me such revelation of Matthew 6:33. Seek ye first, yes, but I never understood it fully until I heard, seek to advance my kingdom first, not your kingdom, my kingdom.
That's
and
good.
then all these things will be added unto you. That's what He has for us, folks. And I'm telling you, He cannot and will not fail you when you put your whole trust in Him.
That's good. That's good. And I mean, I hope some of you have actually been really receptive to what she was saying. I mean, and she's just not. Now you're probably some of you probably said, "Man, that woman can preach. That woman can preach. She can bring it." But look, I tell you, it was definitely a message that's actually, I know, resonating with your spirit. That's just going to your very core. Okay, because if you really picked up on what Tara was saying, and I'm not trying to take away from anything that she actually said, okay, but God just wants you to see exactly, just like she's talking about blessed, okay, talking about the mobile app that, you know, how God went and used her to go through the creation of this app. But then he's just letting you see exactly how, you know, no matter what phase that you're in, you're blessed. But he wants you to be fully and completely blessed by connecting with what? His kingdom system that he has actually established. Now, how many of you right now are out there and you know that there is supposed to be more for you in life? There's that more. There's always this longing, like, I just feel like there's something else, okay? Well, did you ever realize, like Tara said, that it may be that you may not be fully connected to the proper system to answer that question about what that something more is, okay? And listening to Tara, look, Tara's, and it has almost like a similar story like me, how she said God let her know when it's time to quit her corporate job, and then he brought her into this. And I've shared with you on there, God let me know exactly when it was time for me to quit my corporate job, and then all of these other things started opening up for us. I mean, and my wife raised her hand, and she said, yep, same thing for her. And it was the same thing for us. And Tara, I'm not sure if it was just like you, but when we actually shared our story about what God wanted to do with us, we're not working for anyone, okay? But then, you know, God has to provide daily bread. And when people found out that neither one of us were actually working, it was like in the body, okay, what are you going to do? What's plan B?
Right.
I mean, and we're like, well, our mentality and our motto now is there is no plan B. Okay.
That's right.
There's only one plan, and that's the plan that God has actually given us. And I mean, I definitely know that you can just echo so much even from that.
That's so true. You know, there is no plan B. And just to kind of let people know out there, when God gave me the release to quit my job, I was seeking Him. Like, I wanted the day. I'm like, Lord, I want the date. I don't want to be out of your will. I don't want to miss you. I want to know what day. And He would not give me the day. And it was one of the hardest, things to do. I mean, I remember when I walked into my boss's office with my resignation notice, and my flesh was just shaking. I mean, it was freak out time, because I knew in my heart it was right, but He never gave me the date. It wasn't until later that He showed me, you already had the word from me that you could leave. And the right timing was when you had the faith to make the leap. And so the day that I left was the right day, because that was the day that my faith was at its peak level to step out. So what I want to encourage you is that God doesn't always give you those precise, we want every detail. Well, it takes faith, folks, to please Him, right? And it'll shake your flesh. But when you do it, the one thing is we're stepping out on a God that cannot fail. And one thing that was so profound, because I was challenged still for months after I left my job. I had all sorts of different emotions. I felt guilty about not going to a physical job location. I've always gone to a job location my whole life. Now I'm working from home. I felt horrible that other people in my life that I love and care about still had to go to a workplace, and here I am working from home. I was challenged with all these different emotions. And then I realized, it finally clicked in me that, that God had this thing. And I heard a message one day, and it was like, I would rather step out in faith, endeavoring to obey God, than sit back in fear and not do anything. And realizing that God, in His mercy and His grace, if for some reason I messed up, He's still going to step in and pick me up, because my heart is right towards Him. So you've got to eliminate that element of fear that would try to keep you in that place and keep you from stepping out and doing that prompting in your heart. And no, it's not easy on your flesh. Your flesh will freak out. But that's a sure indicator you're doing exactly what God told you to do.
All right, that is just so powerful. And, as Tara Tara, you couldn't see it over the phone, but definitely my wife was cheerleading every single thing that you said because she went through the exact same experience.
Oh.
So, but I tell you, look, we've got like 2 minutes before we wrap up, and I tell you, I really don't want this to end. So one more time, take us out as far as like, Tara, with your contact information. Let them know about the Bless app one more time, and then, we're going to head out the door after that.
Sure. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Court, for this opportunity. I'm grateful. I want you all to get this powerful tool. Again, it's called Bless. When you go into the Google Play Store, the Apple App Store, you can download it for your mobile device. Look for the black and white logo. That's actually us being the light in the darkness. You'll see the word Bless. You'll see Uniting Humanity, and that's the app that you want. It's all about sharing needs. You can share a need of your own, and you can also share the need of someone else. Not everyone likes to share their needs. They don't always like to tell everybody what they have need of, but they will always tell somebody. And if you happen to be that somebody and you can't meet the need, you can share it on Bless for them. And you would be amazed at how the community will come together to help. And so I just want to encourage you, go to the Google Play, Apple App Store, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Bless Mobile App. And you can also go to our website at www.bless-app.com. And we look forward to you being a part of the Bless community. And together, we're changing lives one need at a time through the power of Bless.
Awesome, awesome. I tell you, it was Thriving Thursday in the house, and God's definitely been speaking and talking to you right there in your moment. God loves you. We love you. Take care and stay in your moment. See you on tomorrow.